Hello, and thank you for joining us on the June Community Connection. I'm Brian Strand. This month's program will again be taken from previous versions of the Community Connection. Now that summer is here, hopefully you've gotten out and begun to explore the city. Perhaps you've seen the sproutings of some of Fridley's butterfly gardens. On the June 2018 edition of the Community Connection, Fridley's environmental planner, Rachel Workin, introduced us to the new butterfly garden project that the city had recently undertaken.
What type of bees are hard to understand? Mumblebees. But seriously, let's talk about bees. We're here today at a pollinator planting on the Mississippi River Trail at Interstate 694 and East River Road. This area was planted back in 2016 using grant money from the Minnesota Department of Transportation. While we're still pretty early in the growing season, in a couple of weeks, this area will be a pollinator buffet. More and more pollinator plantings will be showing up within the city as part of our effort to be a more pollinator-friendly community. Animal pollinators, such as bees, butterflies, and some species of birds and bats, are essential to the reproduction of flowers because they bring pollen from one to the other. Pollinators are responsible for the reproduction of over 70% of flowering plants, and they're incredibly important to our food production. Pollinators are necessary for the production of 1/3 of our food and drink, which is worth more than $29 billion worth of products annually. Pollinators are super important, but they're also at risk. Habitat fragmentation, lack of food, and pesticides have contributed to pollinator decline, especially amongst bees and butterflies. One species of bee, the rusty-patched bumblebee, has even been put on the endangered species list. Here at the City of Fridley, we want to help. We will be increasing the number of pollinator plantings within our city parks and decreasing pesticide uses within these areas. Be on the lookout for these signs that designate areas as pollinator patches. This year, our Parks Department will be planting pollinator-friendly plants at the new Civic Complex and Commons Park. Your yard is an important part of Fridley's urban ecosystem. Are you interested in making it more pollinator-friendly? It can be as simple as switching out annual ornamental plants for native perennial plants that pollinators love to visit. As an added benefit, native plants have longer roots that help improve water quality and decrease soil erosion. Choose plants that flower throughout the growing season so that you have a pollinator buffet all spring and summer long. Also be careful with pesticide use. Some pesticides are harmful to bees and butterflies, and wind and water can carry them away from the application site. If you're treating an ash tree for emerald ash borer, make sure to hire a professional arborist who can inject your tree with pesticide rather than applying a soil drench. Time for one more pollinator joke? What does a bee use to style his hair? A honeycomb. Well, that's all from this part of Pollinator-Friendly Fridley. Check out more at our website, fridleymn.gov/pollinator.
Columbia Arena was a community fixture here in Fridley since it was built in 1968. It was one of the recording locations for Mighty Ducks 3. Sadly, with its glory days behind it, Columbia Arena fell into disrepair and was abandoned. The city of Fridley acquired the site and built a new municipal complex. In a nod to the history of the site and the arena itself, the city held a commemorating Columbia Arena event on February 28th of this year.
We have a great event here this evening. There's lots of activities to do. I know everybody's had pizza. The movie's coming up here a little bit, but the big event stands before us right here, the unveiling. I know the man that's been absolutely giddy with excitement since I spoke to him yesterday and they started assembling it, is more than ready to do the unveiling. I'd like to turn it over to our Director of Community Development, Scott Hickok.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you all for coming tonight. We also have Councilmember Steve Eggert, Councilmember Ann Volcom here. Thank you for coming out. and all you citizens and guests, business people, friends. We're just so happy to have you here. I recognize many of you from the open house when we opened up this beautiful facility that we now are still pinching ourselves that we as staff get to work in. And I said it at that time, I want to say it again. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to work in such a beautiful facility, and thank you for letting us serve you here. This entire facility was designed in a way, one of the things that the council wanted to make absolute certain of is that you would get the best customer service you could possibly get anywhere, bar none. Any place you'd experience customer service, this is going to be the standard. And so as we were looking at the campus, it was laid out in a way that put staff all on one level, easy and convenient for you to get at. And it was also laid out in a way that welcomed you, that would allow you to come in and say, this is our house. I remember talking to Wally early on in the design process, and he said, we certainly can't be overly ostentatious, but at the same time, we want citizens to be able to come in and say, wow, this is ours. We want businesses to come in and say, this is ours. This is incredible. So this is our beautiful facility, and one of the things that we also wanted to do besides having a place to serve you is have a place to have public art, have a place to have activities that are just beyond coming in to get your permits or coming in to get your dog license, but instead an opportunity for you to come in and to see us, to visit, to use our fireside room. If 4 of you just want to get together to play cards, the fireside room is here for you. It's not exactly a full-fledged community center, but it is your living room, and you can go ahead and use it. Out beyond that, tonight you're going to see there's boot hockey and there's other activities going on. This spring you're going to see a bridge going in out there across the water. You're seeing homes being built. This was really about building a place, an activity center, a place for you to come and visit, a place for you to exercise, a place for you to love. So what about this sculpture behind me? This sculpture pays homage to the Columbia Arena. When the arena was torn down, one of the things that I noticed and our other staff members noticed is that everyone that we talked to that's from around this area either skated there, they watched an event there themselves, or they had some sort of a connection to the arena. And we wanted to make sure that though the arena, the building itself was tired, the campus that we're now on needed a place to be, and the building and the campus couldn't coexist. The building really wouldn't have helped facilitate any new and modern services, so it was torn down, but we saved a piece of it. And this is a sculpture that was made from the Columbia Arena sign. And we're entering a new era. It doesn't say Columbia Arena anymore, but it does try to reflect what it is that council wanted us to do in creating the customer service experience here. Something that is unrivaled, something that is the best you've had, and something that can be represented by the word incomparable. You'll notice that the sculpture is probably, for some of you car buffs, a familiar color. It's the color of the 1968 Cadillac Eldorado. And it is also the year that the groundbreaking happened for the Columbia Arena, so we thought it was very appropriate. And just lucky enough, that color goes pretty well with the cherry woodworking here also. I do want to recognize the artists involved with this also. It was an idea. There were letters in the back of my truck, but it really took skilled craftspeople to be able to put this together. We worked with a local business, Albrook Signs, and they did a fantastic job. Their artist, Shane Boschwitz, was just great to work with. Chris Judd was my contact there, and they really listened, they understood, and they said this is one of the most unique projects that they've ever had the opportunity to work on. And it was fun to see them here. Even the theatrics of the curtain was something that they were involved with. And with all good luck, we're going to see that come down here very, very shortly. Wally Weisople, our city manager, I noticed in the introductions, I didn't say hi to you, and thank you. So much of this, I have to say thank you for. as a staff member, being able to give, to be involved with projects like this are very memorable. They are once in a lifetime opportunities for me. And I really want to say thank you for that. This has been a very fun project and one that I hope you all enjoy. And with that, I don't want to delay any further. Let's start the countdown.
No, not yet, Scott.
Not yet. Let's start the peeling of the Velcro.
5,
4, 3, 2, 1. We hope your experience tonight is incomparable. We hope your experience every time you visit this campus is incomparable. Has no rival better than anything you've ever had elsewhere. Thank you. Have a great night.
In the summer of 2019, the city of Fridley received a wonderful gift from the Minnesota Timberwolves and U.S. Bank. On September 19th of 2019, a modern upgrade to the basketball court at Madsen Park was unveiled.
Good afternoon, Fridley. My name is Jennifer Ridgway, and I'm the Vice President of Social Responsibility for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And we couldn't be more excited to be with you here today to celebrate this unveiling of the court. And we want to give special thanks to our partners, U.S. Bank, for their Our Courts, Our Future program, where we partner across the state of Minnesota in providing safe and healthy places to play. So how many of you want to play on this court today? We're ready. So before we open up the court and host a clinic for all of you, I'd like to introduce some very special guests. Would any of you like to meet our first round draft pick this NBA season for the Minnesota Timberwolves? Yeah. Who wants to meet? All right, I'd like to introduce Jared Culver.
Thank you. First off, I'm just excited to be here, be a part of the community of Minnesota, and having an outside court like this. Me and my brothers, we grew up all the time playing outdoors, playing outside on the court, so this is a big moment for me and for sure my family, and just being a part of this, I'm so thankful to everybody to my side. And I'm just excited. I know it's going to be a lot of memories, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank you.
Now comes the long-winded part. Now really, I have a newfound respect or appreciation for U.S. Bank. I've been a bank with them for many, many years, and I know Chris very well, quite frankly, but because they're involved in this, it's just very exciting to me to know that the bank that I deal with has been involved in something as nice as this. So thank you very much, Chris. And so U.S. Bank has been a great partner, not the least of which is the Timberwolves. How about that? I mean, getting a new court like this, isn't that wonderful? I think so, right? I'd like to share just a moment with you folks why this is called Madsen Park. So just a little brief history, a few points. In 1953, Ernest Madsen was our deputy clerk for the village of Fridley back in 53. In 54, he became the first city manager. We have our current one right over here to my left, Wally Wysopal, but there he goes, waving his hand. But Ernest was our first. In 57, Ernie formed E&M Development Company, which then went on to develop neighborhoods such as Melody Manor, the one neighborhood we're in now, plus several others in Fridley. And Ernie was elected then in 1960 as the Anoka County Commissioner who represented Fridley and Spring Lake Park, our next door neighbors. Upon Ernie's death in 1963, at the age of 50, he left us all too soon. This park was named Madsen Park in honor of Ernest Madsen by the Fridley City Council at that time. And I wanted to give a shout out to Leon and Karen Madsen there. Wave your hand, stand up. They're in the audience here as well, and I think that's great that they came out today as well. So I just want to move it along so that all the kids can get out here and do a little basketball shooting, and maybe we can even get Jared out here to show us a couple of tricks that he uses on the game. So thanks for coming out today on a warm day, but a beautiful sunny day, and I hope that you enjoy this court for many years to come. And again, thank you, U.S. Bank and Timberwolves.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out today and enjoying the beautiful weather with all of us. We at U.S. Bank really believe that our communities are stronger when people have stable housing and recreational play. And a combination of those two really just ultimately brings joy to everyone and really builds some pivotal pieces in all of our lives. And so I just want to thank the Timberwolves for the partnership on this program. This program has been around for quite a few years, and this is the fourth court of the year that we've done, so thank you guys for that. And we just want to thank the community for coming out and enjoying this moment with all of us. So thank you all so very much, and we look forward to seeing some basketball action here in a minute.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. So now, on behalf of U.S. Bank and our Courts Our Future program with Minnesota Timberwolves, we would like to present this plaque to the mayor and the city of Fridley. And once again, we applaud all of your commitment to voting for your community to receive this wonderful court. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
And before we can play, we have a ribbon cutting.
5, ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Roll that neck, roll it out, roll it, roll it. Ooh, high knee, get that knee up there. Ooh, fast, 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 quick feet, quick feet, quick feet. Lay up. There we go. All right, your turn. Good. Lay up. Next, next. There we go. Okay, let me have the twos down there. Twos down there. If you want to show them how it's done, Jared. See, we're going to dribble out to half court. Turn around. Come back for a jump shot. Okay? When the person or player ahead of you gets to half court and goes in, then the next person can go.
The coronavirus has added a wrinkle to the 2020 census. Last month, Community Engagement Specialist Alyssa Cruzel updated us on the changes to the census.
Hello, my name is Alyssa Cruzel, and I'm a Community Engagement Specialist with the City of Fridley. A huge thank you to everyone in the City of Fridley that's already responded to the 2020 census. The state of Minnesota continues to lead the nation in census self-response rates. Due to COVID-19, the U.S. Census Bureau is adapting and delaying census operations to protect the health and safety of staff and the public. Even though the Census Bureau is adapting and delaying operations, you can still respond to the census online, over the phone, or by mail with a paper form. One of the most impactful things you can do right now is fill out your census and encourage your family, friends, and neighbors to fill theirs out as well. Filling out the census online is currently the safest option with social distancing measures in place for both our Fridley residents and Census Bureau staff. Information collected from the census is used for population counts and is vital to ensure federal funding for emergency response services. If you have not completed the census yet, that's okay. You can respond on your own until October 31st, but don't wait until then. You are encouraged to fill out your census even if you have not received an invitation in the mail. You can respond to the census by going online to my2020census.gov or by calling 844-330-2020. If you prefer a paper copy, paper forms are sent to addresses sometime between April 8th and April 16th. Census information is also available in 59 different languages. You can learn more at 2020census.gov. If you do not respond, census workers will be visiting addresses sometime between August and October. Filling out the census online right now is the safest option for our community. Census workers take an oath to protect and keep private all of the information that they collect, and it is kept confidential for 72 years. If you have any questions about how to verify the identity of a census worker, you can go to 2020census.gov or call 800-923-8282. If you have questions or would like to receive updates about the 2020 census, text COUNT to Minnesota 2020 or COUNT to 66-2020. Visit the City of Fridley's website to learn more about the census and don't miss your chance to show that Fridley counts.
My name is Matthew Miraz, and I work for the City of Fridley under the Recreation Department. Welcome to Rec on the Rescue, Baking Edition. We are living in history, and we have to make the best of it. Staying positive and hopeful every day is a key to getting through each day. Finding new hobbies is something I found very helpful for my mental health. Taking care of yourself is very important, but not only your mental health, but your physical health as well. While doing any recreation activity, it's important to remember to be aware of the social distancing guidelines. Only conduct these activities with members of your household and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. I associate baking with happier and simpler times when I was a kiddo. Growing up, I found baking was a great bond with family members, like my grandma or aunt. It could be the same for you. Invite someone to bake with you that may have never baked before. Play dress up like I am. I don't know what even this says. Anyways, personally, I have a special helper with me. Let's meet Sequoia. This is Sequoia. She's my little helper here. Where's the camera? Oh. Enough with all that chit chat. Let's get started baking. Sequoia, what should we bake today? What? Okay, she said she doesn't know. And I don't either. So I recommend going online, and there's multiple sources to plug in what you have in your fridge cupboards into a website, then they create recipes for you. Let's go do that. Here's my source. So we're gonna go through and choose what products we have. Additionally, wash surfaces, avoid cross-contamination, and do not sample anything until it's done baking and you know it's good to taste test. Let's go with this one. Okay, for cinnamon cream cheese croissants, a lot of C's. We need canned croissant rolls. A package of cream cheese. Some sugar. And teaspoon of cinnamon. I need you to find cinnamon. Don't give me that look. I guess I have to find cinnamon. Okay. Doing your job. Vanilla. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Butter. Butter. Directions. First, to lay down my cookie dough to my sheet. Make sure your surfaces are clean. It's important to get kids engaged. However, it's very important to take care of your mental health as well as young adults and older adults. Be cautious of your mental health. Talk to someone if you need it. Baking is just a way I can relax and clear my mind. Right, Sequoia? However, we all have our different ways of clearing our mind and different ways of relaxing. My tip to you is to explore new ways to clear your mind and live in the present. Boom, magic. And we're gonna lock it. and mix it. Whoa, fun stuff happening here. Now we're gonna add our ingredients to the pan. And during this time indoors, it's really a good idea to showcase that you are having fun and expressing new hobbies to your kids. Then your kids will model after you, or anyone in your household. They will reflect your positivity and your energy. Keep an open mind and be creative like I'm doing. Have some fun during these hard times, not only for yourself, but for the loved ones and the people around you. Boom. Got my melted butter. I'm going to add some cinnamon. Open the oven. All right, our project is done. Let's see how it looks. Mwah. Thank you for watching Wreck on the Rescue Bacon Edition, and we'll hope to see you soon. Stay safe.
Family Friendly Fridays premieres different classic movies and television programs every Friday night at 7 p.m. on Fridley Municipal Television. Some of the programs you might see include silent films by Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin, the Beverly Hillbillies TV show, classic cartoons, and even views from space from NASA. If you can't join us for Family Friendly Fridays at 7 p.m., look for our replays throughout the week. You can also find Family Friendly Fridays along with all other Fridley Municipal programs online and on demand. Just go to the City of Fridley website at fridleymn.gov and look for the City TV icon. This will bring you to our online site. The City of Fridley has slowly begun to open up operations. City Hall was open to visitors beginning June 1st. When visiting, please follow the guides on the floor. Most city employees will return to the office on June 15th. Some services still may be limited, and unfortunately, many events have been canceled for the summer. Check out our social media sites and our website for continuing updates. Subscribe to email updates and follow the City of Fridley on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I'm Brian Strand, and thank you for watching Fridley Municipal Television. This has been a production of Fridley Municipal Television, Channel 17. Thanks for watching.